Interior, Terra Manor, Jane's bedroom. Afternoon. The door creaks shut as Jane steps into the sanctuary of her spacious bedroom. Her fingers linger on the cool brass doorknob, the anger she felt towards Lisa still lingering like an afterthought. With a sigh, she leans against the solid wood of the door, closing her eyes to collect herself. The door against her back is grounding. She draws in a deep breath, the scent of vanilla and old books that always lingered in her room filling her senses. Her thoughts drift back to Lisa's actions earlier, the unpleasant memory drawing a frown on her face.
Lisa isn't worth my energy. I am so much more than she could ever comprehend.
She pushes off from the door, striding across the plush carpet to sit on the edge of her antique four-poster bed. With a sigh of relief, she unclasps her shoes, letting them fall to the carpet, her toes curling in the sudden freedom. The tension of the day seems to seep out from her feet, leaving her body lighter, more relaxed. Her next destination is the bathroom, the space filled with soothing, soft light. She turns on the shower, the hiss of water hitting the tile floor echoing around the room. The steam envelops her, a comfortable blanket that seems to wash away the weight of the day. Freshly showered, she wraps herself in a plush towel, reveling in the softness against her skin. She takes a moment, appreciating the tranquility and peace that her room provides. Post-shower routine complete, she dabs on a light, floral-scented lotion, the scent wrapping around her like a gentle embrace. She then selects her outfit, her fingers brushing over a beautiful blue scoop dress that hung in her closet. The fabric is soft and light, the color reminiscent of a clear summer sky. She slips it on, the dress falling perfectly on her, accentuating her features. She ties her hair up in a casually elegant bun, a few strands artfully falling to frame her face. The makeup she uses is subtle yet enhancing, her eyes made more striking with a touch of mascara and eyeliner.
Looking good, Jane. Aidan won't know what hit him.
She slips into a pair of strappy sandals that add an extra charm to her outfit, picks up her bag and heads out of her room. She descends the staircase, her spirits lifted, an eager anticipation for her date with Aidan, replacing the earlier negativity. The energy within her seems to brighten the manor itself, a beacon of hope in an otherwise daunting world. Exterior, Terra Manor, afternoon. Jane steps out of the manor, the sun shining brightly above her. She takes a deep breath of the fresh air and smiles, feeling ready for an amazing time with Aidan. She checks the time on her phone, 3:58 p.m.
Perfect timing.
She starts walking towards the entrance of the Grand Canyon, feeling grateful for the beautiful scenery around her. Exterior, Grand Canyon, afternoon. Jane and Aidan stand at the entrance of the Grand Canyon, taking in the breathtaking view before them. Jane has been here many times before, but the beauty of the canyon never fails to amaze her. Aidan, on the other hand, is seeing it for the first time, and his eyes widen in wonder. The sun is shining brightly, illuminating the vibrant reds and oranges of the canyon walls. The vastness of the canyon seems to stretch out before them forever, the rocky cliffs rising up and up until they disappear into the hazy distance. The air is crisp and clean, and the only sounds are the distant echoes of birds and the gentle rustle of the wind. Jane turns to Aidan, a smile on her face.
It's amazing, isn't it? Every time I come here, I feel like I'm seeing it for the first time.
Aidan nods, speechless.
I had no idea it was this beautiful. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Exterior, Grand Canyon, sunset. Jane takes Aidan's hand and leads him further into the canyon. They hike along the winding paths, stopping every so often to take in a particularly stunning view. The colours of the canyon walls change as the sun begins to set, and the sky overhead turns a fiery orange and pink. Jane and Aidan sit on a rocky outcropping, looking out at the vastness of the canyon as the sun sinks lower and lower on the horizon. It's a moment of peace and beauty that neither of them will ever forget. Exterior, Grand Canyon, rocky outcropping, sunset. Jane and Aidan sit on a rocky outcropping overlooking the breathtaking beauty of the Grand Canyon at sunset. The sky is awash in hues of pink and orange. Jane closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. Suddenly, her face contorts with fear as she has a premonition of vampires breaking into an old cave in the Grand Canyon. Jane watches as the vampires break into the cave, revealing Egyptian hieroglyphs and magical artifacts. As Jane tries to catch her breath, she realizes that the premonition isn't over yet. She sees a flash of a silhouette of a tall woman dressed like some kind of high priestess, her flowing robes adorned with ancient symbols. The woman seems to be observing the vampires, her face emotionless and inscrutable. The woman's regal stance and commanding presence immediately remind Jane of Kensa, the high priestess of the Terra colony from Graham's story. Jane feels a strange connection to this mysterious woman of iniquity, as if they were somehow linked by destiny. She wonders if the woman in her premonition has anything to do with the Terra colony and its secrets. Her mind races with questions and possibilities, and she knows she must find out more about this woman and what her vision could mean. As Jane continues to focus on the silhouette, she notices a glimmer of something shiny around the woman's neck. It's a pendant, glowing with an otherworldly light. Jane feels drawn to the pendant as if it's calling out to her. She realizes that the pendant must hold some kind of power and wonders if it could help her in her mission to uncover the secrets of the Terra colony. As the premonition fades, Jane's eyes snap open and she gasps for air. Aidan notices her distress and immediately puts his arm around her.
Jane, what's wrong?
Jane is too shaken up to answer. Aidan hesitates for a moment before asking gently,
Did you see something?
Jane nods, still unable to speak. Aidan's expression darkens as he realizes the severity of the situation.
What did you see, Jane?
Jane takes a deep breath and manages to whisper.
Something terrible.
Aidan holds her tighter as they both gaze out at the stunning, yet foreboding Grand Canyon. Jane looks at Aidan, troubled, as she tries to process her premonition.
I'm sorry, Aidan, I have to go.
Aidan stands up, his expression filled with concern.
I'm not leaving you alone in this state, Jane. We'll figure this out together.
Jane looks at Aidan gratefully, but still determined.
Thank you, but I have to go. Please just let me go alone.
Aidan nods reluctantly as Jane takes off running into the Grand Canyon, her dress flowing in the wind. As she runs, her messy bun comes undone and her hair flows freely. She looks beautiful as she disappears into the sunset. Aidan watches her go, mesmerized by her beauty. Suddenly, he speeds off into the distance, vampire-like, to make sure she's safe. Exterior, Grand Canyon, sunset. Jane is running through the Grand Canyon, with her hair blowing in the wind. The colors of the sky are breathtaking as the sun is setting.
Come on, Jane, you can do this. Just focus.
Suddenly, Jane spots hieroglyphs on a sandstone boulder. As she analyzes it, she recognizes her family crest.
This is my family crest. What is it doing here?
As Jane follows the glyphs, she eventually arrives at the cave entrance from her premonition. But to her surprise, she sees that the entrance is covered with another boulder, perfectly placed to hide whatever lies within. The sandstone boulder seems to fit seamlessly into the surrounding rock formations, as if it had always been there. Jane can't shake off the feeling that this was intentionally done to conceal something important. The sandstone boulder is perfect. Jane studies it intently, marveling at the skill and precision with which it was crafted. It's evident that this boulder has been here for thousands of years, and its weight is immense. Despite the challenge, Jane remains undeterred. She takes a moment to calm her mind and channel her energy, then extends her hand towards the boulder. Her fingers tremble slightly as she focuses her powers on the object before her. With a sudden burst of strength, Jane unleashes her telekinetic abilities, sending a powerful wave of vibration towards the boulder. The sandstone grinds and scrapes against itself under the strain, but it doesn't give way. Jane grits her teeth and pushes harder, feeling a bead of sweat roll down her forehead. Finally, with a loud crack, the boulder begins to move. Inch by inch, it slides away from the entrance, revealing a dark opening beyond. Interior, cave, night. As she steps inside the cave, the air is thick with dust and the smell of decay. The cave walls are adorned with ancient hieroglyphs, and strange symbols cover every inch of the cavern. Jane can feel the weight of history bearing down on her, and she realizes that she has stumbled upon something monumental. She takes a deep breath, steeling herself for what she might discover within the cavern.
This is definitely the place from my vision. But where are the vampires?
Jane continues to explore the cave, and suddenly she hears a strange noise.
What was that?
She follows the sound and arrives at a dead end. But as she looks closer, she sees a small opening in the wall. She decides to crawl through the opening. Jane walks inside the cave and sees that it's filled with ancient artifacts, from pottery to jewelry and gold statues. She marvels at the sight before her, feeling a sense of awe and reverence for the history and magic contained within the cave. As Jane ventures closer to a clandestine chamber, she becomes acutely aware of an alien energy pulsating from within. Guided by her instincts, she cautiously treads towards the mysterious source and uncovers a stargate nestled within the enigmatic enclave. Suddenly, the crystal perched on a pedestal at the heart of the chamber erupts in a luminescent glow. A potent force abruptly propels Jane backwards as she struggles to maintain her footing. In the ensuing disarray, a figure slowly materializes from the pulsating stargate, cocooned within a spectacular burst of radiating light. Awestruck, Jane watches as the figure gradually strides out of the stargate, unfolding his imposing stature. A towering giant of a man, easily breaching 9 feet, he makes a majestic sight. His clothes, remarkably ornate and extraterrestrial in nature, are embellished with intricate gold and silver motifs that dance and flicker under the luminescent light of the crystal. His skin is a dark, rich shade of green that seems to glisten uncannily under the mystical illumination. The imposing figure, despite his surreal appearance, radiates a sense of calm and wisdom, revealing his identity: Osiris, the lord of the underworld and the god of resurrection and fertility.